Welcome back to LFC Transfer Hub, your ultimate home for all things Liverpool. Today we've got huge transfer drama and breaking news.
Liverpool believe they'll lose starter to Real Madrid in huge double coup, but brilliant signing will soften blow. Man United red-faced after Liverpool ace they tried to sign now worth £100m plus. Newcastle accelerate move for explosive Joelinton replacement, why top target is perfect for Howe. Now let's hear the details. Welcome to LFC Transfer Hub. Don't forget to subscribe and like this video. Liverpool believe they'll lose starter to Real Madrid in huge double coup, but brilliant signing will soften blow. A report claims Liverpool are now accepting they'll lose Ibrahima Konate to Real Madrid in 2026 as part of a sublime double deal, though a signing of their own will soften the blow at Anfield. One only has to cast a cursory glance over the Spanish press to see how mentioning Liverpool players alongside moves to Real Madrid drives clicks. Alexis Mac Allister and more recently Ryan Gravenberch have become the subject of article after article talking up transfers to the Bernabeu. But while there is nothing beyond admiration in the midfield pair at present, the situation regarding Ibrahima Konate is different. The centre-back is out of contract next summer and Real Madrid's interest has been verified by numerous trusted sources and outlets outside of Spain. Liverpool have tried and failed on several occasions to tie Konate down to a new deal. We're now just over 3 months away from Real Madrid being able to forge a pre-contract agreement with the Frenchman from January 1st. According to a fresh update from Marca, Liverpool believe any further attempts to try and convince Konate to stay would be fruitless. The report declared, Liverpool are taking a commitment between the player and Real Madrid for granted, just as Trent Alexander-Arnold did in his time. Marca went on to add Konate's goal is playing for Real Madrid and contact between the club and his camp has long been established and continues to be maintained. The report's primary focus was actually providing the latest on Dayot Upamecano, who was in a similar situation to Konate at Bayern Munich. Upamecano is also out of contract next summer and per Marca, Real Madrid intend to sign both players via free agency. Like Konate, Upamecano is said to have his heart set on joining Los Blancos and will not sign an extension in Munich. Despite landing Dean Huijsen over the summer, Real Madrid do require further additions at centre-back in the near future. David Alaba and Antonio Rudiger, both now deep into their 30s, are off contract at the end of the current campaign. Silver lining for Liverpool? Marca are unofficially known as Real Madrid's mouthpiece in the media, though as mentioned, they're by no means the only one tipping Konate to play in white next season. Interestingly, a curious report from the Mirror over the past 48 hours claimed Marc Guéhi, who Liverpool came within a whisker of signing in the summer, now has his heart set on joining Real Madrid. Liverpool intend to return for Crystal Palace ace Guéhi next summer, and if Konate does leave, Guéhi would walk straight into the starting 11 alongside Virgil van Dijk. If Marca's reporting is accurate, it's Konate and Upamecano who Real Madrid will land, thus leaving Liverpool in the clear to snag Guéhi at the second time of asking. It's also important to note the Mirror's claims that Guéhi now favors Real Madrid over Liverpool fly in the face of what most other publications have stated. Team Talk's own information is that Guéhi is still very much on board with moving to Anfield next summer. Man United red-faced after Liverpool ace they tried to sign now worth £100m plus. Michael Owen believes a red-hot Liverpool star's transfer value has trebled to more than £100 million, and the story of how Liverpool struck gold has roots at all three of Manchester United, Chelsea and Arsenal. Liverpool maintained their 100% start to the Premier League season on Saturday when defeating Everton at Anfield. It's 5 wins from 5 for the defending champions so far, and while he's always been highly appreciated on Merseyside, Ryan Gravenberch is now receiving unanimous acclaim from further afield. The Dutchman was a colossus in Liverpool's two-man midfield alongside Alexis Mac Allister last term. Gravenberch has taken his game to even greater heights this time around, and against Everton, the holding midfielder both scored and assisted. Gravenberch's first season at Anfield, Jurgen Klopp's last, was an underwhelming one. The £34.2 million signing barely featured under the former boss, but his transformation since Arne Slot took charge has been nothing short of magical. And according to pundit in former Liverpool, Man United and England striker Michael Owen, Gravenberch is now worth in excess of £100 million. He is seriously talented, he could do anything, Owen told Premier League Productions after the Everton clash. I love him sitting in the number 6 role, but it just shows you can push him forward and he can still have a big influence, a little bit like Declan Rice. He's a number 6 but can play forward as well. I look around the world at the moment and think, who is performing better than him? I don't see many at all. I think he is one of the finds of the last season or so. Certain circumstances could have meant he wouldn't be playing. If Liverpool had got Martin Zubimendi when they wanted him, he wouldn't be playing. Even when they played Ipswich in the first game of last season, we were all scratching our heads thinking, who is going to play as the number 6 today, and word emanated from the dressing room that it was going to be Gravenberch. He's never looked back since. It's incredible. Bayern Munich, they must be scratching their heads thinking, wow, why have we let him go? Because he can be absolutely anything. If he was playing for another team now, everybody would be after him as a new number 6, sitting midfield player, thinking £100 million plus. Man United, Chelsea and Arsenal all involved in Gravenberch's rise. Rewind the clock all the way back to the January window of 2023 and Man United at the behest of Erik ten Hag made a play for Gravenberch. The midfielder was struggling to break into the team at Bayern Munich at that time. Man United had just suffered an injury blow after Christian Eriksen was sidelined and a late window move for a new midfielder was sanctioned. Both Sky Sports and The Independent confirmed Man United and ten Hag wanted Gravenberch as their priority signing. Ten Hag knew Gravenberch well from their time together at Ajax. However, Bayern were reluctant to sanction a loan exit for a player who'd only arrived 6 months prior. Accordingly, Man United were forced to look at alternatives and would go on to sign Marcel Sabitzer, also from Bayern Munich, on a 6-month loan. Once the 2022-23 campaign ended, Liverpool embarked on a complete midfield rebuild. Stalwarts like James Milner, Jordan Henderson and Fabinho were moved on, while Naby Keita and Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain were released. Liverpool got deals for Alexis Mac Allister and Dominic Szoboszlai over the line in the early phase of the window. The fact both stars could be signed via release clauses sped up the process. However, Liverpool then fixed their gaze on more defensive-minded options in Moises Caicedo and Romeo Lavia. Hefty bids for both players were tabled, with Liverpool offering a club record £111 million for Caicedo. Ultimately, both players chose to sign for Chelsea, resulting in Liverpool making late window moves for Wataru Endo and Gravenberch. As mentioned, Gravenberch struggled to impress Klopp in the 2023-24 season and at one point, was an unused substitute in 4 consecutive matches in April of 2024. Klopp's departure a few months later prompted the arrival of Slot, and the incoming coach immediately sought to sign a ball-playing defensive midfielder. Martin Zubimendi was identified as the perfect player to pull the strings in a slot midfield. Liverpool pushed for the Spaniard and indicated to Real Sociedad they were prepared to pay the player's release clause. However, Zubimendi chose to remain in situ, and less than 6 months later, news broke of Arsenal securing a broad agreement to sign Zubimendi in the summer of 2025. It doesn't take a genius to work out Zubimendi rejected Liverpool in the knowledge he was going to Arsenal 1 year later. Had Zubimendi joined Liverpool, Gravenberch may again have been denied opportunities to shine. But with Endo not viewed as a regular starter by Slot, the responsibility for anchoring Liverpool's midfield fell to Gravenberch almost by default. Liverpool now possess one of the world's leading stars in that position, though but for Man Utd's miss, Chelsea's double swoop and Arsenal turning Zubimendi's head, the situation could have been so very different. Newcastle accelerate move for explosive Joelinton replacement. Why top target is perfect for Howe. Newcastle United have reportedly switched their transfer focus to bolstering their midfield engine room in January as rumors persist over Joelinton's future, with Team Talk analyzing why a move for a reported Inter Milan target could be perfect for Eddie Howe. The Magpies did add to what is arguably the strongest part of Howe's team over the summer when they brought in Jacob Ramsey from Aston Villa, but that did not stop them making a late play in the window to try and sign Inter's Davide Fratesi. The 25-year-old was a major target for the club over the summer before they eventually snapped up Ramsey, but they are now ready to renew that interest in January, according to fresh reports that emerged on Sunday. Sport Witness states that Newcastle are keeping a close eye on Fratesi, as concerns grow that Joelinton could still be lured to the Saudi Pro League. The Brazilian is a huge fan favorite at St. James Park and remains under contract until 2028. However, that has not stopped reports emerging of Saudi sides pushing to secure the 29-year-old's signature, either in the new year or next summer. With that in mind, Newcastle are keeping tabs on Frattesi's game time at Inter and have been given a major boost in that regard. Frattesi has been in and out of the starting lineup since joining Inter Milan from Sassuolo, and his struggles have continued in the early stages of the new campaign. The Italy midfielder has managed only 21 minutes of game time thus far, but despite that his stock remains high and a move in January is very much on the cards. To that end, a move from Newcastle would not come as a massive surprise, especially if Inter hint that a deal could be in the offing for a player who was valued at around €40 million, £34.5 million/ $46.7 million. How Davide Frattesi signing fits for Newcastle. Similar to Joelinton in some ways, Frattesi is a dynamic, box-to-box midfielder known for his goal-scoring instincts, intelligent runs into the box and strong ball-carrying abilities. He is outstanding when it comes to exploiting space in and around the box and can also feature as more of a number 10 in House's traditional 4-3-3 system. Frattesi is also adept defensively, if asked to play in a deeper role, and has a varied range of passing. The former Sassuolo man has chalked up 15 goals and 9 assists in 90 appearances for Inter to date, but will struggle to add to those sorts of numbers if his current lack of game time persists. To that end, a move in January could be the ideal scenario for a player who still has plenty to offer, just not at the San Siro, it would seem.